So if you can share a little bit about kind of what inspired you to use your volleyball platform to talk about some of your concerns about that.
Yeah, for sure. With the advocacy for mental health and body image, it wasn't, and I honestly hate giving this answer because I know from experience of like sitting in a class or learning from someone, I'm like, how did you become this? I want them to tell me, well, if you organize, you're this way, and you plan out this, you can get this. And so I feel like people want that from me, but to be very honest, I just was experiencing a lot of these issues like my whole freshman year. I was gaining weight, I was trying to diet, I developed disordered eating habits, I was anxious all the time. And then that anxiety and all of those issues my freshman year led to being depressed sophomore year. And like I felt far away from that quirky, fun girl that I was. And it was really scary. And when I started realizing what was happening, I just couldn't believe like no one had warned me, or that I didn't know an athlete could experience a mental health issue. Like I thought athletes were immune because we're so strong, or that because I was a USC athlete living my dream, I wouldn't feel sadness. I just didn't think that this could happen. And I was also embarrassed. I felt guilty. I felt like I would be considered weak for having issues. So anyways, when I got the opportunity to start to give that TED talk, which was the very first thing I did, I jumped at it because, and the main reason, and I honestly believe this, is because when I was laying in bed one night, very depressed, fearing like what was wrong with me, I was Googling like depression and athletes who are depressed, and nothing came up. I think I found one video of a Michigan football player. I honestly would love to find him now and call him up and tell him how that video inspired me. I found one video and I found one person that made me feel valid, but I saw hundreds of others that made me feel like I was the only one. So when I had the opportunity to speak on it, I did, in hopes that now there would be 2 videos you could find when you Google it. And so from that, people messaged me and the reaction was just incredible. The amount of people that said, oh, I have a body image issue, or I was depressed, or I felt this way too. And I realized, okay, like, well, do you want to hear more? Because I can share more. I'm such an open book. I don't have secrets. So I started posting about it and posting about it. And then more people wanted to follow and more people wanted to message me. And so that is sort of how the advocacy work all began.
That's great. That's really cool how I'm sure that Michigan guy had no idea to inspire. So, I mean, you've kind of taken it to another level in terms of reaching a new audience. Just how that kind of gets passed on. Like, I mean, how many seeds now you're planting to the future Victorias out there that are going to amplify that message, and so on and so on. And like as a coach, I've always viewed volleyball. I love volleyball. I'm passionate about it, and I only want to work with people that are passionate about it as well. But beyond that, it's really just a medium to teach about life. Like you reel them in, connect with some volleyball, but then it gives you so much more. And I think it gives you so much greater connection. And I mean, obviously just sports in general, but like we wouldn't have all these connections without that medium of volleyball. And once we get that connection, then we could really start talking about life stuff beyond that. I think it gets it's that first initial bridge.
Definitely. And the volleyball community runs super deep. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything about YouTube, or at least I didn't know anything about YouTube like 8 months ago, but I post one video about volleyball and I have all these people who are volleyball players that want to watch. So it's like the volleyball community, like from just that example, shows you like how many people there are that love this sport. Yeah. And it's very cool to find friends and make connections, through the volleyball world, like just how we met.
Yeah. And I'm curious, we have a lot of high school and collegiate fans that might